everyone. Sorry we had a little technical difficulties, but we are here and back. We're going to give it a few minutes to let the people that was in come back. Thank you guys for having your patience.
Thank you for having me.
We had 8 people. They probably was like, these people. Let me get guys while we're still waiting. So how's everything? We're going to give them like 5 minutes and then we're just going to start for the people that want to watch it later so they don't have a lot of waiting time. So while we start, let's talk about just some random. And then when I see like one person join, we're going to get into the topic. The topic tonight is we're talking to a young lady who's been through some trials and tribulations. And I feel her story needs to be told in order to encourage someone like myself who has been encouraged to continue to strive through life because God put you through difficulties, but He allowed you to move forward and go through the struggles in order to be stronger. So, with that being said, just to change the subject, um, our goal is to encourage those of you. But we was talking about a topic earlier today that touched a lot of people. uh, that's something else we can talk about relationships. But as we wait for the live to come in, nobody has come, but it was a relationship topic.
It's all right. What's the relationship topic?
So while we wait, you guys, so earlier we had a discussion that was going on about, I don't know if I should say it. That's why I paused. Or should I ask this other relationship question while we wait? So another relationship question is, hey, welcome to our live. I'm sorry if you were in earlier and we had some technical difficulties, but thank you for taking your time out to come back or to join us now. As you see, we have a guest today. If you're familiar with my show and you don't, and it's a different face, her name is Key. She here to tell us about her testimony, about the trials and tribulations she has been through, and how her story encouraged me. Some of you guys ask me, how do I keep smiling when I'm going through so much? This person right here is one of my go-to persons that I lean on when I'm feeling down because their story encouraged me to not give up. So, not to keep you guys waiting. At first, we was rambling and we was just gonna get off subject, but let's stick to the topic. So, like I said, this lady is Key. She have a testimony to tell, just like the statement says on her title. She been through some ups and downs with battling health issues, and she conquered it one by one. But no further ado, I'll let her take the stand and talk. All right. Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kedra. I have multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed in 2005. Um, I don't know, Martin. Ask me a question. I don't just talk. I have
Yeah.
words, but I can't just start talking.
Okay. So when you first was battling multiple sclerosis, what happened? What took over your life first that changed you? How was your walk with God before this incident happened? I knew you always believed in God, but how
I
was
always believe in God. I was raised in the church, but you know what? I didn't but actually like I knew him. I didn't believe. I didn't have the faith.
okay?
But I just went to church. Like I didn't pay attention. Uh,
Yeah,
and not pay attention, look at everything else. Look and see, oh, she's over there shouting. I wonder why she's shouting. Oh,
right.
why is she screaming? Like, what's going on? I didn't know about the spirit. I didn't know about getting the Holy Ghost. I didn't know about emotional feelings. I didn't know about you can hear God speak to you through like
Oh,
different, huh?
right. No, I'm
Uh,
listening.
You can hear God speak to you. Like He could answer your questions, answer your prayers. You just have to listen. I didn't know all that. I
Right.
didn't, like
So, what would you say actually brought you closer to believing? Was it the situation that you took place with your medical?
it
So,
was
tell us more about that. What happened to you from start? Like when you first was diagnosed to, it's hard to say, but we're gonna say it. When they pronounced you gone, unalive for a few minutes, seconds, please tell us about those details.
okay. It started. I was working at Children's Hospital
Mhm.
as a nurse assistant. So it started off. Um, I was getting symptoms every week. So it started off with my left eye. It affects the most dominant side of your body, and I was left-handed.
Oh,
So it started off on my left eye. My left eye was jumping. I didn't think nothing of it because our eyes jump like we don't think nothing of it. So okay, it started off my left eye, and then it didn't stop like throughout the whole week, and then it started getting blurry. I was like, okay, what's wrong? And then you know I was going out a lot.
right. We were together.
I would just get bogus glasses, not even prescription. I would just get glasses.
Yeah.
I'd be like, let's go, let's roll. Still driving, knowing that it's blurry, still driving. Stepping out on, I can't even say faith at that time because I wasn't a believer.
Right.
So it was actually skeptical. I was just doing things, but it started off on my left eye, and then I went to the hospital. Went to get it checked out, and they couldn't. They said nothing was wrong. So I left, still working. Then the next week was I had a slur in my mouth. I couldn't like talk.
What's
That's
going through your mind as that happening? Are you realizing your body's breaking down? Is this your aha moment like, God, what are you doing?
I didn't have an aha moment. I was scared. I,
Scared.
di-
Okay.
at that time, I didn't think I need to go to God because I didn't know Him.
Right.
So I was just scared, like, what is going on with my body?
Right.
And I was still working, not knowing nothing. But yeah, I couldn't talk. I couldn't, like, it was like slur.
Right.
You know how stroke people's mouth is. And
Right.
then went back to the doctor. They did a spinal tap.
Okay.
That's like a epidural, you know,
Correct.
that hurts. But
Right.
they couldn't find nothing. So I'm like, what is wrong? I didn't say Jesus or nothing. Jesus, what is wrong? I didn't know.
Okay.
So the next week, that was it. I was completely down. I had a walker. I couldn't walk. My room was upstairs. I couldn't go upstairs.
Yeah.
So they had to move my room downstairs. And it wasn't until okay, I'm skipping steps, but I was completely down. The doctor took me off work because they couldn't find out what was wrong.
Right.
So I was home off work. Mind you, I had a 2-year-old son
Right.
and I was living with my aunt. So she had to feed me at that time.
Let's pause for a minute because I wanted to tell them the story about. Listen to this, you guys. I live in the IE. She lives in the LA County. She worked for a hospital in the city of LA County and would drive way out to 30, 40 minutes to come see me just so we can go to the clubs. Yes, we're going to tell the truth. So let me tell you this part that took place with us. We went to the club. The next day, she told me I can't talk. Like she said, she was choking. And I started laughing because I didn't believe her. I said, because we play so much. I was like, oh, I'll stop playing. This is how fast things can happen. This is why this is important for you guys to hear this story. 24 hours called and said, I really can't talk. Okay. Within a couple of hours after that, we got off the phone with us within 24 hours, right? Then a couple of hours after that, her auntie called and said, where did you guys go? What happened? We have to rush her to the hospital because she's choking because she can't swallow. This is life. So you might be with somebody with the next day, but in 24 hours, God jumps in and say, "I need to sit y'all but down somewhere." Because we wasn't getting into trouble, but we was running the streets, partying and doing stuff. We slowed down a lot. And I think a lot of things happen like this, so God can pull you back. And like her faith was, I knew God because I went to church with my mom by force, and then I was learning who God was, but I didn't have that personal relationship. So I'm gonna let her finish after this. So listen, her auntie calls me and like, where did you guys go? Because she can't talk, rushed her to the hospital. And I'm like, what? I'm thinking everybody. I'm like, no, I just was there. I just left. I barely just made it home. So that's not true. And then from there, the domino effect happened and let them know how fast things can happen to you. Tomorrow's not promised to you.
Oh, going back to what did you just say? Oh, you didn't have a relationship. I knew God, but like you said, I didn't have a relationship with him.
Not that one on one.
And then like when you said God was telling us that we need to sit down, stop, my that story, like I think he was telling me that because I worked 7 to 7. I had
Yes,
a baby,
yes.
still out in the streets, clubbing, partying. I didn't drink or do all that stuff, but I was doing too much. I didn't have rest on my body. So basically, yeah, he probably was like, boom, sit down, slow down. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when that happened, when my aunt called you, I didn't know she called you, but
She was like hysterical, like thinking we did something. I'm like, we didn't take nothing, thinking like at first maybe somebody gave us something in the club or something. I'm like, we really don't drink like that because we like to be aware of our surroundings. And if we do, if we really like one person would drink, I might have a drink and she won't, or vice versa. And I'm like, nothing. We just went to the club. We went to Jack in the Box. We didn't get nothing. No, I'm like, nothing. And she like, well, I'm rushing her to the hospital. I'm looking like, I was just there, like, what in the world is going on? My head is like, what's going on?
um at that time I didn't really have a big appetite. So I only ate peaches and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches cut in four.
Mm-hmm.
I was eating the peaches and I took a bite of the one square of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was full. But that's when it happened. I couldn't swallow it.
Okay.
But as I was trying to swallow, it got stuck and I started choking.
Okay.
And like that's when my auntie got scared. I couldn't breathe. It wouldn't come up. Like it was stuck.
Right.
And my son was there too, so she panicked. The ambulance came, took me and then took me to the hospital. I vaguely remember after that. Took me to the hospital. I don't know what happened after that. Uh,
Tell you what happened when I can tell you this from her being in the hospital. We got the call to come to the hospital. By the time we got there, everything already starts shutting down. And then they try to give her this. Then you came out the hospital because they couldn't determine what was wrong with her. So they threw her a party, invited us over to like a birthday gathering. And by time this time I haven't seen her like in a couple of weeks or months. And so by the time I seen her, she couldn't walk. This went from me seeing a person driving me from 45 miles, from 45 minutes away to an hour and a half to clubs and all this to coming back and seeing this person in a wheelchair, had no control over their eye movement and couldn't talk. How can that go from a person that works in the hospital, has a kid, driving, just completely changed pretty much overnight? I got to see her at her auntie's at the birthday party, and I broke down because I was like, "Whoa!" Like y'all didn't tell me this was going. We knew. I knew she was sick, but I didn't know that it was that dramatic, right? And I look, she's in a wheelchair, and I'm like, I don't even know if she can see me. Can you see me? Because your eyes were just, you
I
didn't
didn't.
have muscle control.
I didn't know who was there.
And they still couldn't determine what was wrong, right? And we still, like there's a God, but we still confused. I wasn't dropping on my knees praying until after that things got worse and she went back into the hospital.
Wait,
Um,
after that part, because that was a Saturday. So
yeah.
Sunday, I know that they took me to church.
Okay. Okay.
They took me to church. I know they wheeled me to the front. The pastor prayed over me, and people came up to pray over me and pray with me. And then that was Sunday. And then Monday, I had to go in back to the hospital.
Okay.
And then after that day, I think that's the day that I couldn't swallow.
Okay.
So they had to put a trach, see, a trach in my neck to suction me out so I can like it can open my airway.
Okay.
Um oh, so much stuff happened. Um before before that they couldn't determine what it was. So they gave me they cleaned out my blood and put like a transfusion through
Wow.
the scars are here. You probably can't see it, but that didn't work.
Okay.
That process went on, but that didn't work. And then that's when my uh it shut down and they had to put a trach because they had to put a trach in my neck to suction me out. They suctioned me out like it went on for a month.
Mhm.
I shut down in the regular room, so they had to take me to ICU
Mhm.
because they felt that I was being suctioned too much and it was affecting my mm, uh, with my airway,
Okay.
tampering with my pipes. So I went to ICU to get a closer monitor person on me. That's when I died
Mm.
because
You couldn't get no airway.
like every 30 minutes
Mhm.
my fill up of mucus and it was too much suctioning.
Okay.
I think my sister, everybody was there.
Okay.
Um, I died for like 45 seconds.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
It don't sound like seconds, but seconds is a long time. And how did you know you died? What did you see?
Whew, I'm getting the chills. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see my window, but my window, like that,
Huh?
my bed was facing this way. So the window was on my right side. It was dark. It was dark. Put this in your head. Oh, through the window, mind you, the curtains was closed.
Okay.
So through the window, or through that little that pathway, I saw a light. And you know how, like, something, say you're at a beach and you see somebody far away in the distance.
Mm. I was just saying, like you looking towards the water and you like, is that somebody
Yeah.
surfboarding? But you can't really see it clear. You just know it's something there.
Right.
Okay.
Mind you, I know God, but I don't know God. I didn't know God at the moment. So I'm just like, okay, there's somebody there. Now, my son's father's grandmother and aunt passed away like
Uh-huh.
2 years before that.
Uh-huh.
They was on the side of my bed, on the right side,
Uh-huh.
like telling me to come on, let's go, come on.
Okay.
So the light was a pathway,
Okay.
I guess, for them trying to take me to go. And I couldn't move. Oh, that's another thing. I couldn't move from my eyebrows down. Like I had no muscle movement.
Do this.
So I was paralyzed. The only thing I could move was my eyebrows and my eyeballs. I couldn't
Okay.
talk. I couldn't lift my. I couldn't do nothing. So I wasn't moving. Like, no, I'm not going. This is not my time. I'm not going.
Right.
So during that, I guess that was 45 seconds. I woke up. I woke up and they were trying to put a bite block in my mouth.
Mm.
I guess to open, I don't know, I guess my mouth was tight or they couldn't open it.
Mm.
But it's not funny, but I woke up laughing because my sister, I've never heard my sister curse.
Yeah.
She was cursing up a storm at the doctor's.
Yes. She was scared. Yeah, when you scared, you take it to a different level. Yeah.
So yeah, it was, and then after that, they put me on the ventilator because I came back. But yeah, it wasn't no, like, I didn't go see the gate. I didn't go walk with him. No, I still don't. I still don't know who God was.
Right. And then when you came back
Uh-oh, sorry.
after that, back, how long after did you start to recover to the point where you start to say, I feel movement? I feel like, how long after?
Movement did not happen until like 3 months later.
Mm.
I
And
was in hospital for a year.
and was those images of the people on the side of your bed still coming into your thought? Like what was going on? Like you like, why was those people there? Mm.
No, I didn't see him no more after that.
Did you remember like right away? Like when you woke up, did you remember them? Like, am I tripping? Did I just see so and so? Or you just was just like,
I didn't remember that until after I got out of the hospital the following year.
mm, wow. Okay. Wow. So now let's fast forward. The thing that kept me strong and kept me going is that, as she said, she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk. Like when we went to go see her
Okay.
body was so filled with fluid that it didn't look like her. Um, they did have the trach, they had all these IVs. One day she called me after not talking for all this time. And I was like, Key, is that you? You know, like what? Just called out of the blue, talking. And then what happened after the talking came back? What came back first?
Movement. Movement in my legs. So I think this is when I believed. Okay, I was in ICU at Kaiser Sunset with my aunt right here and my cousin down at my feet. We were watching a TD Jakes sermon. I don't know what the sermon was about, but we were watching a sermon and I couldn't move. Remember, I was paralyzed. So, whatever he said at that moment, my left foot, my most dominant side, that MS affects, jeez, sorry, it went up. My left foot went up and dropped.
Yeah.
My cousin was like, Keisha, did you just do that? I started cracking up. I'm goofy. So I started cracking up. Like, duh, it's my body. Of course.
Right. We both goofy. Yeah.
She said, do it again. And I'm happy that it's moving. So I just kept doing it. Just kept doing it. And they started crying. My
Mm.
auntie started shouting, started praying. And then it was just a lot. Like, I was happy. Now, one time that I stayed, I was in pain.
Okay.
Much as I went through, I didn't say, this hurts or I need some medicine or nothing.
Right.
I was still smiling. I was still happy. The whole time I couldn't talk. In my mind, you know what? I was saying Jesus.
Right.
Oh, Jesus, Jesus, just that's it. Jesus, Jesus. Oh, and then like because I couldn't talk, I had the ABC little pad.
Yeah.
Every time somebody would come in and visit me, if I had something to say, they had a notebook and a pen. So I would like, no, I wouldn't because I couldn't move. So they would point to every letter and I would shake my head yes or no,
Oh,
yes, no.
okay.
And then I would get frustrated because they'd be like, how you spell that? Wait, say it again.
So it's a lot of work because you like, oh
Oh,
my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it.
and I get mad because they not understanding me. I would just be like, no, 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 no. And then they'd be like, okay, 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 you're okay. Because I would be so mad, but I wouldn't cry.
Right.
I would just stop trying to talk.
Right. Okay. So now you got your movement coming back. Then what came back next?
Movement. Well, once I got out of the hospital, I went to a rehab center in La Palma. So they helped me with more movement. I had speech therapy.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Oh,
was it? Oh,
my,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my voice came back next.
Was it ever anything that the doctor said would never come back? Where they say, "Oh,
Yeah,
she not gonna walk again, or she probably won't talk again."
Just what you said.
Okay.
And that's when I was at the Torrance rehab, Little Company of Mary
Mm-hmm.
in Torrance. The doctor said I wouldn't walk again.
Mm.
It's a slight chance that this will be that will be she won't walk again.
And in your head, what did you say?
My auntie came and told me. She
Oh, they told your auntie, but not you. Okay. Okay.
tell you this. The nurse, like the worst people that ever will care for you is
Mm-hmm.
I had the worst experience. And being that I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, so it's not like I could press the nurse's station button.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't yell, "I need help," or I couldn't tell my auntie what happened. I
Yeah.
could so my auntie, she would come every morning because she couldn't stay the night. She would come every morning and I would just shake my head no. That's how they would know that something was wrong with me that night.
Oh.
So she would always be like, "I'll be back," and
Right. Right.
she went to talk to the doctor. And it's crazy because I remember everything. Now, when I was in ICU, Kaiser Sunset, my veins were weak.
Okay.
So, but one of the RNs, I think it was an RN or an LVN, they they tried to take my blood. They couldn't get it. He tried again. He couldn't get it. He looked back at the nurse's station and tried again.
Oh my.
Couldn't get
You just sitting there like, huh?
it.
Like that happens.
I
Yeah.
couldn't tell. Then he went around to go to the other arm.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first time that I cried.
And you start calling on God, like, God, was you calling on God like, did that still make you be like, was you angry at God or were you more like, God help me? How did you feel?
I was angry at him and I was just saying, Jesus, 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 Jesus. And that's when he got blood.
See, I never knew that. I never knew that.
And
I never
then,
knew that. That's gonna make me get chills right now because it's like telling me another confirmation that he was like, you gonna go through this until you get to know me. Like I'm gonna make you know me. Like he forced you to get to know him. That's why it's giving me chills when you said I never knew that story. You never told me that. So it's like, okay. And then finally when you said Jesus and it start working, was that your aha moment then? Like,
yeah, it was. Because after that, I have to cry to keep from laughing.
right.
I mean, laugh to keep from crying. Sorry. After that, they couldn't this is when they couldn't find out what it was that I had because they thought it was a tumor in my head. They were going to give me brain surgery.
Yeah.
But before that, before they came to an agreement, they wanted to get a second opinion from another doctor.
Mm.
So I was transferred from Bellflower Kaiser to
Mhm.
Kaiser at Hollywood.
Okay. Wow, that's a
And
long transfer. Yeah.
like this story is huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It happened a long time ago, but it's still like important to this day.
Yeah.
It built character.
I
Now,
was first to Kaiser Sunset, which has a a group of doctors that do multiple sclerosis. So that's when they found it was like Martine. It was like 2 days. They found out. No, I'll say a week. That's how fast it felt. They found out what it was within a week.
because they studied it, so they was like specialized in MS. So they was like, this is MS. So I remember
Yeah.
them saying that too. They thought you had tumors because they said they had lesions that was found on your spine in your head or something like that. So they thought that you
Uh,
had tumors too. I remember them telling us that she
uh,
got tumors.
how do you think? And you're a doctor.
'Cause they didn't know.
Research it. But having multiple sclerosis also is lesions.
Oh, maybe was it new back then? Like, was it not a known disease? Was it something that was just? I can't remember when you found out. I know I didn't know about it, and I only knew about it because of our friend mom and you. But I still didn't know about it because I didn't really talk to our friend mom that had it. But when you had, then I started getting more educated on it. Like, oh, okay,
It wasn't known. And then especially in my family, because I'm the only one that have it.
okay. Now
But
let's. Oh, I'm sorry.
after I was saying Jesus, 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 she got the blood, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then I started getting MRIs like every 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And that tube is so scary because you have to be like that and move. I can't like hold the thing to squeeze it if something was to happen to me while I'm in there. So I'm just like this, eyes closed. I'm praying
Mm-mm.
the whole time. It's like, bam, bam. I don't know if you ever been to in the MRI thing. It's like, bam, 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 bam. Like it's noises, and it's scary to me because I've never been in there. So I'm like, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Like over and over, over and over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just anyway. Ask me some questions.
I wanted to get back to the part when you said the man told your auntie, like, oh, she's not gonna walk again. And what happened when they told you that? When they found you finally heard them tell you that?
They didn't tell me. My auntie came back and told me.
And what happened when your auntie told you? What you start thinking?
The doctor gonna say you're not gonna walk again. The devil is a lie. That's what she said.
So she claimed it.
Yeah, she's a believer. She was a believer. Like
She wasn't believe because I remember she used to pick us up early in the morning to go to school playing church music. Like it was, we like it's 5 a.m. in the morning. Like who's up just praising God like this, you know? And we in the car, like, you know,
every
dang.
time I'm in my room,
Uh huh.
she was on the side of my bed singing the Donald Lawrence song. I'm healed.
Mm,
I will never forget that song. Like every time I hear it now, I
mm.
just
Okay, so now we're gonna fast forward. So now you're out the hospital. What gave you strength to say, I'm gonna walk? I'm not playing with them. Like, how did you know that you can walk? After somebody claim it on your life, how did you mentally say, no, I'm gonna walk? Like, how did you start walking? What pushed you, like, say, or how did you know you can walk?
my auntie she set up a physical therapist to come to the house to do movement. Like our living room was big.
Okay.
So I I would walk from one end to another end back and forth. Like they would have a belt around my waist to hold me,
Mhm.
walk back and forth. And I would have physical therapy every week.
Okay.
That got me stronger because if it wasn't for physical therapists, I would just be like a lump on the log, like nothing. Because you don't have that strength to be like, I'm gonna do it myself. No,
You
just
got,
like trainers, when you want to work out, you need a trainer to force you to do it.
yeah, 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 I get what you're saying to help encourage, rate, and motivate.
That helped me, and then the medicine helped me too. That was when we moved to Temecula. But now that I'm back, like Orange County,
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's a miracle. The moral of the story, you guys, is this is a person that they tried to take out. Meaning, this person was unalive for 45 seconds. This person couldn't talk. This person couldn't have eye control to see clearly. This person couldn't walk. But this person right here, you see sitting in front of you that just told you her testimony, can walk, can drive, can talk, can see, is like 99% independent. Okay? And the reason why I wanted to bring her onto this panel right now, because a lot of us is going through things that is not as dramatic as this, but when you hear somebody sit there and say, I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do none of that. And to come back from that, it should give you the strength to say, okay, yes, somebody may be talking about me. Yes, somebody may be damaging my property, but I'm blessed to be able to walk, to talk, to see, to enjoy the little things in life. Life may be too hard and it feels like you can't go on, but a person that been through all of those trials and tribulation and could still say, I'm gonna live, I'm not gonna give up. I think that should push you and encourage you, because it encouraged me, because I had days where I didn't want to take my kids to practice, you know? And then I'm sitting here like, oh, I don't want to go to practice. I'm tired. Then I would think about this young lady, because she had a son, and she has a son. Has a son that's in sports at the time too. He's still in sports. And she still got up. Man, still got up, took him to practice, still got up and drove him where he had to go with the strength that she had. And it led me to be like, how can I complain when you got people going through more than you? You know? So that was my thing.
I was even going to practices on a walker. I think him being in sports, it was my purpose and motivation to keep him going, but that was my motivation to get up and
Right,
stay. Like, I have a person to live for.
right, right.
That's put him in my life.
And how is your connection to God now? What do you, for people that still have doubts and iffy, because I know people that's even in my household have questions like, is God real? How is he real? We are, what would you tell to them that have doubt or don't have faith?
Man, I would just tell them, you want to hear something? I wasn't a believer. I knew him, but I didn't believe. But like sitting thinking by myself about my whole life as a child, when I got pregnant, I graduated from college, got pregnant. It just, and then like, first off, multiple sclerosis is caused by stress.
Mm,
Realized that I was stressed out until that happened.
yeah,
So yeah, I just don't understand a person that can't believe now. Now being doing going through what I went through, and being here now, I would never complain ever.
right.
Like, okay, this is TMI, but say I got cramps. Okay, I got cramps. I ain't gonna be like, oh God, why? Why me?
Right.
I love to have cramps.
Just because you can
But
feel.
I'm still here to feel the cramps.
Right. I get what you're saying.
It's I'll ask them why not believe in God? Like what has God ever done to you to have you not believing he's good?
But what about like how you went through so much? Could that can turn somebody into making them saying, if there's a God, why did I have to go through this? That's because some days you have those days when you're going through so much and you be like, okay, God, why me? The why me syndrome. Or why am I going through this? Like, I don't deserve this. What do you think his testimony was for you, or what was the message for you? Why did he put you through all that? What was the purpose in your life?
Slow down, sit down, know that mm, know me.
Mm, okay,
Come to me. Like I can't say like, okay, I was stressed out, but I can't say I prayed to God.
I get it.
You know how you be like, oh God, I'm so stressed. Who I don't even know who I talk to.
Right. But now you call on him, and like I think what she been through, it made her so close to God because I feel like she's part of the chosen ones, the 144 that has a sealed on their head. Because this person, I can be going through something, and it's like you gotta believe in soul ties. When soul ties is when you can be connected to somebody that you don't have to be in an intimate relationship with, and God put that person in your circle. That's how you know somebody is real or meant for you through the grace of God. Because I can be going through something and I can ask God, like, God, da da da, a question. And in this person, she would send me a scripture or a video to watch. And I'll be looking like, I'll text her and I'll go, why did you send that to me? And she'd be like, I don't know. But it'd be the answer I was looking for. And it happened more than one time. Or it be crazy stuff like this as a child. This is how you know some people are chosen from birth. As a child, we be in school and she will be like, I'm having butterflies. Something is about to happen. And we'd be like, okay, okay. And she'd be like, oh my God, they're getting stronger and stronger. And then something would happen. And we'd be looking like, how does she know that? And even to this day, you guys, she'll call me and say, where you at? What's going on? Because I got butterflies. And then I'm driving on the freeway about to go pick up my son. And she's like, I got butterflies. Where you at? I said, on the way to go pick up my son from school. We get there, the police is all at my school. And I'm like, start praying. We start praying on the phone, like pray, 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 because I'm like, oh my God, we got butterfly. The only problem is we don't know if her butterflies are good or bad. Because sometimes her butterflies that she would get will come and it just be like we're running to somebody we haven't seen in a long time. Or we're running to somebody we didn't want to see from a long time ago, right? So that's how you know when people are chosen. When you hear people use those words loosely, look into it, because I can honestly say that this young lady was chosen, has a seal placed upon her forehead, because I'm telling you the things that she's been through, and I can tell her what I'm going through and no cast no stones, even with the situation of me walking through life right now with me not understanding the hatred. We get on the phone and be on the phone for hours, but like I said, she can call me and be like, where you at? Something's about to happen. And I get there, my son's school had a whole bunch of police officers there. We start praying and kind of find out it was something minor, but it still was something going on. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. Is there anything else you want to add, or anybody have questions? I'm like I said, my goal was to just bring forth this information to you guys, because I know I was in a lot of people's shoes where I battled my faith. I didn't have a relationship. I just knew, Okay, my mom told me it was a God, so I'm supposed to believe it's a God. It wasn't my own beliefs, but now I know for a fact there is a God. I have certain days still today where my faith get weak, but then it gets picked right back up. So that was my goal. If you have any questions, it's time you can enter it in the chat, or if those of you that come late into the video, I'm gonna keep the video up, drop a comment, and we'll try to answer it as it go. And we can have more of these chats, you guys. I appreciate you, Keith, for coming on. You have anything else you want to say to them? Especially like the butterfly things and all that. And
Sometimes when I get the butterflies, I'll be like, oh gosh, I got butterflies. And then I just pray. Like, I pray, Father God, help and protect all my family, my friends. Let no harm come in their pathway. Let no one get hurt on the roads. Safe travels to everyone that's driving. Anything. I just start praying.
right,
And then it'll just go away. Or it's weird. Like it's not like fake. You know
right,
how literally it's like a TV show. Somebody is saying that, but no, it's for real.
right.
And I've had that feeling since I was like probably 8. Yeah, 8. My mom died at 12 when I was 12. And then that's when my dad left the next year. So basically, I was out here alone. I grew up by myself, me and my aunt. But
Yeah.
yeah, any questions you guys have, I can come on back to answer.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we about to end our live, you guys. I appreciate you guys listening in, and I hope this helps change someone's life or opinion. Like we said, we'll be back to talk about controversy because this person I classified as the term woke. Where sometimes I wish you guys were flies on the wall to hear our conversation because we'd be like, what? Bro, I didn't know that. And it's cool to have somebody that you can talk to about that kind of stuff. So, yeah, thank you guys. So, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.